Hi, everyone, and welcome to Experts Unplugged, speaker spotlights from the Medical Fitness Association Conference, where I, as a fellow speaker at the conference, I'm going to highlight some of our amazing speakers from the upcoming Medical Fitness Association's 33rd annual conference, which is going to be November 1st to 4th at the Baltimore Convention Center in Maryland. I'm Joanne Newborn. I am CEO of Newborn Evolution, where we transform your organization's vision into real results through leadership coaching, training, and consulting at all levels of your business. So today I am talking to Ashley Reed about her talk, Co-Activation, the key to core training in pregnant and postpartum moms. Ashley is the owner of Active Mom Fitness, Philadelphia's only strength-based private and small group training studio for moms and moms-to-be. Ashley's developed an approach to prenatal and postpartum strength and core training that has helped hundreds of moms stay active through pregnancy, safely return to exercise after having a baby, and meeting all of the physical demands of motherhood. Ashley is a certified exercise physiologist and advanced postnatal wellness practitioner with nearly 20 years of experience in the health and fitness industry. And in addition to working with clients, Ashley is authoring an exercise guide for moms and provides continuing education training to professionals. And being a mom herself, Ashley is thankful that exercise is a tool that allows her to be active right alongside her daughter. So thank you so much for joining me today, Ashley.
Thank you for having me, and thanks for doing the speaker series. It's wonderful.
Thank you. You started Active Mom Fitness back in 2016, and what led you to that decision?
Yeah, my background is exercise science. And so at that time, I had already had a career in exercise, fitness, health, and was kind of just helping general population, moved around a little bit. And then it was really my own personal experience with pregnancy. As you mentioned, I'm a mom. My daughter's 8 now. And it was that experience that really was kind of the aha moment. I had this extensive background and was certified by the top organizations, yet during pregnancy, I still kind of had that fear of, oh, should I be doing this? Is this right? And I found there wasn't a ton of resources at the time. Their prenatal yoga was kind of a widespread thing, but that was about it. And yoga is great. That just wasn't my thing. So I was always questioning, like, should I do this? Should I do that? And I realized, if I was feeling that way, that there was probably other moms feeling that way as well. And the same thing kind of happened postpartum. There was things that happened to your muscles and core strength that I just didn't really, I knew, from a science perspective, what that meant and how to kind of get back into fitness. But then actually going through it, I realized that, the practice of it was a little bit different due to different barriers that moms face, whether it's time, energy, lack of sleep, whatever it might be. And so then same thing, I did focus groups, other people were feeling the same way. And that's kind of when Active Mom Fitness was born. And being that I came from like a sports medicine, strength and conditioning background, that's really the approach that I took. And I thought, if we can design these strength training programs that are specific to athletes and their sport so that they're not getting injured and so that they can have like peak performance, then why couldn't we do the same thing for moms? And how can we prevent injury and make sure that they can handle the changes from pregnancy and then getting back into their sport of motherhood postpartum? So from there, we just kept growing.
Amazing, amazing. And I'm sure there's a huge need for that because, like you said, there's so many unanswered questions and who do you go to and who do you ask? So I love that you're doing that. And you're presenting on core training for pregnant and postpartum moms. Why is this in particular an important topic for exercise professionals?
Yeah, I think from kind of the broad perspective is as exercise professionals, we have this responsibility and we're in the field in order to help people feel good and strong within their body. And I think that with that, we work with a lot of moms and moms to be, although a lot of people don't necessarily specialize in prenatal or postpartum strength training or whatever it might be, fitness. most people are either going to work with somebody who's going to be a mom or is the mom, no matter what stage of motherhood. And so I think just kind of gaining that confidence to know that your program is really doing all you can. And the core, over the years is I've really established an approach and protocol where I'm like, this is the key to moms not having back pain or incontinence or any of those things that are just really, really common. And so I think by starting with core training and looking at it in a different way outside of kind of the typical core training that most of us have been taught or most moms even have been familiar with, that really can change a lot of quality of life for people, as well as making sure people stay active, which we all know inactivity is an issue for everyone, and particularly for moms, because there are those other barriers. So I think if people can at least start with the core training, that could really help a lot of moms. And I think with that, I'll also say that pelvic floor physical therapy is kind of all the talk these days. People are realizing that the pelvic floor muscle plays a big role in core strength. And I think as exercise professionals, no, we're not there to, diagnose, just like we're not there to diagnose a pulled muscle or whatever it might be, but we do know how to handle those and we do know how to work with that muscle group. So just like any other muscle group, I think fitness professionals should be aware of the pelvic floor and the role in core training and how to work with people that might have dysfunction.
That's great. And I'm sure you've heard the saying, sitting is the new smoking when you were talking about inactivity. So that is so important. And the conference is a medical fitness conference. So how have you integrated into healthcare?
Yeah, I think kind of the movement in terms of the role of exercise professionals right now is really exciting. There's a huge push to be more of the healthcare system and creating this integrated system to better support people. And I am excited about that because that's kind of the perspective I've always taken, is that people are coming to me and I have the scope of practice and I'm working with an exercise, but I really have the ability to help people with mental health and physical health. And so it's a huge responsibility, and that is a part of overall healthcare. So I've always taken that perspective of how can I collaborate with other health professionals and wellness professionals, and how can people seeing me get connected to other people and vice versa, so that there's a holistic approach, because that's really what it takes in terms of health. You can't just do one thing. You kind of got to do it all. And so for me, it was a natural fit to work with pelvic floor physical therapists. So that's the health professionals that I'm probably most connected to, not just from a referral basis, but I've really learned a lot from them, as well as them kind of learning from me in terms of, okay, if we're discharging our patients, then what does that look like? What is their next step? And a lot of times they don't have that next step. So we've really kind of had this collaboration where now this mom who has struggled with whatever condition can get treated and then back into exercise. So that's been a really natural fit. And I'd like to see more exercise professionals working with physical therapists, because you don't have to convince them necessarily of the importance. They're already on board with the physical aspect of exercise. So it's a really good partner to have. And then working with OBs is obviously something that sounds like a natural connection as well. And so I just think in general with fitness professionals, just making more of an effort to find out who your partners can be so that your clients can have better care.
Absolutely. And like you said, it's all connected, right? And then the mind and the body is connected and all of these different pieces. And I think as an individual, when you go to find help or talk to someone, everything is very disconnected. It's this little segment and this little segment. So I love that you're bringing it all together, because that is so empowering for someone that is really looking to really take care of their whole body. So
Yeah. And I love that word, empowering. That's kind of the whole aim of everything. It's not just like, here, run through this workout, but it's teaching these moms, like, this is the change that happened to your body. I'm going to empower you to know what exercises are good for you and how to fit it into your life. So yes, agree with empowerment.
I love it. So anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up our nugget together?
Well, first and briefly, I hope that I see some of you watching this at the conference. So please say hello if you're watching this and see me at the conference. But other than that, I think the main message is just being, although that I specialize in working with moms and whatever other professional specializes in working with moms, I think the one thing that maybe would be helpful is if we didn't always consider it the special population. After all, it's a huge part of the population. So whether the mom has a child who's 15, they might not be considered postpartum, but technically they've had a child and some of the changes to their body might apply. So I think if more professionals in any field can look at moms not as a special population that you need only certain people study, but somebody that everybody, it's more common than you think to work with moms, and just having that lens is really helpful.
So great. I love that point. I love it. So Ashley is going to be speaking on Saturday, November 4th at 10:30 a.m. So really be sure to catch her because this is great. And I'm going to be speaking on Friday, November 3rd at 8:30 a.m. And my talk is creating rock stars, evolving into a high performance team. So that's early in the morning. Bring your coffee, bring your breakfast, come join me. I'm going to be teaching my proprietary MLD method for building a high performance team. Thank you so much, Ashley, and I really look forward to seeing you in November.
Yes, I look forward to seeing you in person. Thank you.
You're welcome.